What's up, everyone? How are you doing tonight? Welcome back to another episode of Phenomenal Views. I am your host, Nick Smith. You all know my nephew, Tevis, we are both drinking tea. He's got sweet, I have unsweet. For those who know me, this is common. So this is our review for the movie Pixels, which tomorrow will make it a week, because my friends have said, try to wait a little bit before I release the video, so I still remember the movie. My history with this movie was like my history with Spider-Man 3. Like, when I seen the trailer for it, I was like, awesome, it's about video games, it's got one of my favorite actors, who is Adam Sandler, and it just looks awesome because I played old NES games when I was a kid. You know, I played Pac-Man, I've never played Donkey Kong, and I didn't play Centipede, but I did play old-fashioned games, like from the NES to the Super Nintendo to the Nintendo 64, and also to the Sega. So I have played some old natural games. And, you know, just seeing this, I was like, man, I cannot wait to see this. Then we sat down for the movie, and actually the movie started out pretty good. Because, like, it shows, like, them as kids. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. This is going to contain spoilers, so for those who don't want to know what happens in the movie, it's best that you sign off now because we're going to go into spoiler territory. So...
Wait. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So the movie actually starts like with showing, like, you know, it's summertime and the arcade is open, and like how good we meet our three characters. We meet Adam Sandler's character, we meet Josh Gad's character, who was known as the Wonder Kid, and we meet Peter Dinklage's character, known as the Fire Blaster.
And Kevin James.
Oh yeah, and Kevin. Did we meet Kevin James's character?
Yeah, he was his buddy.
Oh yeah, that's right. But so like they're all good at video games. Adam Sandler is especially the best.
Except Kevin James.
Yeah, except Kevin James. He's best at the claw machine. And so like it shows like how they're so good at video games that they go to this video game tournament. And we meet Peter Dinklage, and like, you know, they battle one another, and it shows like all the competitors getting beaten and stuff, except for Peter Dinklage and Adam Sandler's character. Now they do say in the movie that Adam Sandler's character is actually really smart. Like, even because he loses the tournament, but Kevin James comes up to him and is like, dude, you don't need to worry about this. You know, you're going to go to MIT. You know, you're really smart. You can invent things. And this is one of the problems with the movie is Adam Sandler, Kevin James, even though his character is probably like the most likable in the whole movie besides Peter Dinklage, it's the whole entire thing of like Adam Sandler, who's like good as a kid, and then like when he gets older, he's kind of a loser. In most of his movies, it's kind of the same thing, except for Happy Gilmore. Well, never mind. But, it's pretty much like the same thing, you know. Adam Sandler, you know, he screws up in life, and then he's eventually able to fix his life, and he eventually gets the girl. Now, I did not think the chemistry between him and the girl that he was flirting with did not work at all. Except when they were fighting. When they were fighting each other, you believe that they hated each other. Because apparently, like, Adam Sandler is like this guy who installs, it's not cable, but like he installs like TVs and PlayStations and all that other stuff.
He installs everything.
Yeah, he installs everything. And so he comes across this kid who becomes kind of a main character in the movie, kind of. And like, you know, he's talking about like PlayStation 4 and all that stuff. And Adam Sandler's like, well, I played Pac-Man and stuff when I was a kid. And like he meets the kid's mom, who's been dumped by her ex-husband, who's with a girl whose name is Cinnamon, that starts with an S, and so, like, he tries to flirt with her, and it honestly, to me, kind of came off creepy. Because, like, he was, like, what, 20 or 30 years older? Or at least he looked like that, but their chemistry, when he's trying to flirt with her, it doesn't work. But when they fight with each other, oh gosh, they're believable as an old married couple. Like, they actually hate each other. But, like, when he's trying to flirt with her, it just doesn't work at all. It really doesn't. And so then we come into the character I could not stand in this movie, is Josh Gad. I could not stand a single word that came out of his mouth. I could not stand the jokes that he did. I'm going to give him one thing, though. He can sing. He can freaking sing. I'll give him that. But I hated his character so freaking much. Just his dialogue was awful, and he just really annoyed me. Every time he opened his mouth, I was like, shut up, I want you to shut up, please die, please! He didn't die, but the movie ended, so I was happy. And then we come across Peter Dinklage, and I'm just going to tell you, Peter Dinklage is the only thing in this movie that feels fresh and new. And what I mean by that is because Adam Sandler and Kevin James are kind of playing the same characters that they play in every movie. From like Happy Gilmore. I've not watched That's My Boy, but I've heard it's not good at all. Even though I'm kind of curious to watch it. But his character is just the same. And I mean, I loved him as a kid. But it's getting old. And honestly, did you feel like Adam Sandler's character was pretty much like he didn't care? Like, to you, did it seem like Adam Sandler didn't care at all?
No.
Or at least in the beginning?
No.
He kind of seemed bland to me. His character seemed really bland, and until, like, the fighting started, like, his character picked up a little bit. Kevin James is the president, which, by the way, Adam Sandler knows the president. How does he not have a better job?
I know, right?
I mean, like, literally, Kevin James is the president in this movie, and Adam Sandler's best friends with him, and he can't get a better job besides installing cable or installing video games and stuff. And Kevin James even says, dude, you're really smart. Why don't you quit this job and go do something with your life? And Adam Sandler's like, nah, man, I had my chance. I blew it. Dude, you can always go back to college. I mean, come on. But so then, like, but in the earlier of the film, it shows that the time cap, they send a time capsule of them playing video games, and it sends them up into space. Well, the aliens view it as a challenge or a death threat, and so they decide that they're going to attack them with video games. So when they are first attacked by video games, Adam Sandler and even Kevin James are like, we're being attacked by certain video game characters. And, you know, of course, they don't believe Adam Sandler, and, you know, it's the whole entire thing, oh, I'm the only one who can do this stuff. And so when they finally see what they're dealing with, they decide, okay, we're going to let them come in. And there's two Game of Thrones people in this movie. There's Peter Dinklage, and there's not Russell Crowe, Sean Bean. And he actually doesn't die in this movie. He lives.
Sean Bean.
The guy who said, the guy with the English accent. The one who was like, we're shooting a beer commercial. If I say it's a beer commercial, it's a dang beer commercial. The guy who kept insulting everybody. And he had a brief cameo. And Brian Cox from X-Men and Manhunter are in this movie too. And he plays the general that's like, oh, you know, they're going to get us killed. You know, we need to rely on the army only, not this stupid crap. And so, like, we get a training montage eventually of Adam Sandler training the soldiers and teaching them what to do. Well, the soldiers can't do this, so Adam Sandler, like, takes one of the blast guns and starts shooting the aliens, and, because, like, basically what happens is they have to win the game. It's like a normal video game, you know, you have to win the game. And so Adam Sandler keeps telling, like, you know, you gotta shoot all of the centipede, you can't shoot it in half because it'll multiply. So then Josh Gad eventually joins in, and then they decide, okay, we're going to make a team of Adam Sandler, Josh Gad, and Fire Blaster, but he makes some really funny demands, and we get the best character in the whole frickin' movie. The thing is, though, I didn't like this movie. I was hoping it was going to be good. I mean, him and my friend Luke liked it, but just the dialogue I felt brought it down. The only good thing I liked in this movie, there was, I could maybe like give a list of 5 things I liked about this movie. Peter Dinklage is the first. The video game battles are awesome. The fact that they explained that the video games in the past had more of a purpose than the video games in nowadays do, I thought that was pretty cool. We got the original guy who created Pac-Man who was in this movie, but he has a brief cameo. And the ending credits. Because that was the best part of the movie, because the movie was over, but also they redid the whole, like, glimpses of the movie in pixelated old video game form. And I thought that was a really cool callback to the nostalgic of those games.
They played my favorite game in this movie.
Yeah, see, now, that's one thing that they keep doing, was it showed this kid who's playing The Last of Us.
My favorite game.
Which is his favorite game, and it's actually one of my favorites. It's a really good game. You should go pick that game up and play it. You will not be disappointed.
No, you won't.
Well, it's like, you know, Adam Sandler's playing this, and he's like, I don't understand, like, where's the patterns and everything? He's like, there are no patterns. You just pretend you're the guy, and you don't die. And Adam Sandler's like, I can't get into these games. Which, I liked that. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, you know, it's a guy from an older generation trying to understand the new generation of video games, and they don't click. They don't connect. And so I thought that was really cool. And what was your favorite video game battle out of all 3 of them?
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man was pretty cool. The fact that like, they actually got these mini cars that represented ghosts, and they actually had guns on them. And the thing is, just like Centipede, Pac-Man actually plays like the actual level. Whereas, you know, he chases you, and if he gets a power-up, he has 10 seconds to eat the ghosts. So Adam Sandler and Peter Dinklage devise these plans to basically take him out. They have to touch him. But every time they beat him, the level gets harder, which I thought that was really cool too. But you know, just a lot of stuff from, you know, Josh Gad, and his whole entire character just brought the movie down. I did not like him at one point. He's really creepy and really awkward. I'm just gonna say that right now. His character is like, he's the creepy, awkward kid. And it's worse when he gets to adulthood. Oh my gosh, I couldn't stand him. But, so like, they do their best to do all the games, but we eventually do get alien invasion, and we do find out that Peter Dinklage actually used cheat codes to win the Pac-Man battle. And earlier on, when they're celebrating in the bar, the aliens are like, they're like, you know, you cheated, and so now we're going to kill you. You know, you didn't obey our rules, so now we're going to take over the planet. And we find out that Peter Dinklage, he has these glasses, and he has cheat codes on the glasses. That's how he won the tournament, and that's how he freaking, beat Pac-Man so easy.
Because they were asking, how are you moving so fast?
Yeah, because, like, there was, like, a point, like, when was it Adam Sandler running from Pac-Man, or was it Josh Gad who was running from him?
I think it was Adam Sandler.
And, like, all of a sudden, Peter Dinklage comes out of nowhere, and they were like, where did you come from? He was like, Fire Blast is amazing. And so, we eventually find out that that's why the aliens are attacking, is because Peter Dinklage cheated in order to win. And, like, the whole entire thing of this movie is Adam Sandler is upset that he could never beat Donkey Kong. Like, that's the reason in this whole entire movie why he's down. And once again, Adam Sandler's character, he lost a video game, but they say he's, like, really smart.
He is.
And he could have went to MIT, but...
He did go to MIT.
Oh, he did, but I can't remember.
It was Mississippi something.
Oh, yeah. And, like, I don't know, did they say he dropped out or something? He gave up or he failed?
No, it was a different MIT.
Oh, yeah, that's right, it was. But they keep saying throughout this whole movie, it's like, dude, you're really smart. Why don't you do something with your life? And it's true. Why don't you do something with your life, man? But so we get a good invasion from space. And one thing that I actually thought was cool is whenever they win a video game, they get a trophy to help them fight against the aliens. So the first one was the dog from Duck Hunt. And what that was, Duck Hunt came with Super Mario. And like you had the Nintendo Zapper, you plugged it into the NES, like you shot at the screen. And it's like, that was their first trophy, which they never really did anything with that. They just showed that we got one trophy. The next trophy was Q*bert, which Q*bert was actually an okay part of the movie. But there's one problem with Q*bert at the end of the movie.
You gotta wait till we get there.
Oh, yeah. But, okay, so... Eventually, we find, like, earlier on in the movie, like, they said, like, Josh Gad had a crush on some video game chick, like, he's trying to make her come to life for real and stuff, you know... He's a really creepy guy. And so he eventually comes into contact with her when the aliens attack. And, you know, like, she's getting ready to kill him. And he's like, at least I'll know I died falling in love. And then she falls for him. And then he's like, is that your girlfriend? Fiance. So, but Adam Sandler finally finds out, you know, that he is the greatest Donkey Kong player ever because the kid reveals that Peter Dinklage cheated, and so Adam Sandler gets his spark back. He gets his confidence, like, yeah, I'm the best video game player at a video game that I apparently got beat at, and my life is better now because of it. Oh, gosh. But, so anyways, they beat Donkey Kong, and, so after that, all the bad aliens go away. Eventually, the chick goes away, and Josh Gad is crying, and Adam Sandler's like, what's wrong with him? And Peter Dinklage is like, the video game character made an appearance, and when you saved our world, you kind of destroyed his. So, then Q*bert, out of the goodness of his pixelated heart, I guess, decides to turn into this chick, and they start kissing. And Adam Sandler brings up like, whoa, 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 whoa. Are we not going to acknowledge that that was once just Q*bert? And so, like, we get a cut scene of eventually Josh Gad coming home from work, and they have little tiny baby Q*berts. Does that technically make him gay? Because it technically, what I don't know. I'm gonna have a aneurysm. But then the movie eventually does end. We get the credits of the pixelated video game. Now, another thing that I am going to give this movie is the graphics. The graphics were amazing. Like, the movie's actually quite beautiful. Like, the way how the movie looks, like, it really looks good. You actually believe that the video games are attacking. But, unfortunately, that is not enough to save this movie. It is doing horrible at the box office. It has a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, or the last time I checked. And I seen a post on Facebook that it has earned at least, I think, what, did I say $2.9 million or $9.2 million? It was one of those two. But they could have made this better. And I'm still going to give it the original rating that I gave it when I walked out of the movie. I'm going to give it a D+. For Peter Dinklage, the graphics, the video game fights, the ending credits, and the fact that they explained about video games. And, actually, okay, 6 things. It does take a notch back to nostalgia. This movie could have been a really good idea, but unfortunately Adam Sandler and all them just dragged it down. The only one who is honestly look like he's trying... Okay, actually, I'm going to say 2. The only 2 people in this movie who look like they're trying is Kevin James and Peter Dinklage. But Peter Dinklage at least feels like a breath of fresh air, because you know he's having fun with this character. He looks like he is having a blast, and he's trying to make this character work really well. And his character is actually the best thing in this whole movie. Because Peter Dinklage is such a good actor. I love him in Game of Thrones. He was amazing in X-Men Days of Future Past. If you guys really want to see how good of an actor he is, check those things out, because he is a phenomenal actor. He really is. He carries this movie. God bless his heart. He tries, and it is shown. But my final rating for this movie, I'm still going to give it a D+. If you want to watch it, go watch it for the video game scenes. In my opinion, it's not worth a buy. It's worth a rental. If you see it on TV and you have nothing better to do, give it a watch. But other than that, in my opinion, stay away from this movie. It is a disappointment. Any final thoughts? What? Okay. But, guys, put in the comments below, if you have seen Pixels, what did you think about it? What was your least favorite thing about it? What did you like about it? We truly want to know. You can comment on my YouTube channel. You can comment on Facebook. I will put the video on Facebook and on my Twitter. I'll put the link to it on my Instagram. Please tell me, if you guys have seen the movie, what did you like about it? Because when we went to the movies, the guy was like, the critics haven't been liking it, but everyone else who came out of the movie said that they loved it. And I honestly want to know, besides the things that I liked, what things did you all like? I really want to know. Guys, I hope you have a good day, and you have a good night. And enjoy your weekend.